Hi, I'm Claudia Wittich, and that little person swimming in the ocean is me. For the last 6 months, I've been abroad in London, England, and I'm here to tell you about my time abroad. When you think of London, England, you might think of double-decker buses, old church buildings, funny accents, and partially you're right, London has a large tourist population, but London, England is actually so much more once you get to know it. In addition to the monarchy and the kings and queens and princes and princesses, and the royal wedding that actually happened while I was abroad, you can see Harry and Meghan over there, far away. London is an incredible city with almost anything you could want in a city. There's, incredible green spaces, weather that is more than just rain, though I must say it did rain a fair amount while I was there. But it's a diverse city with a rich history. Everything you see in London can be traced back hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's almost crazy to think about what was happening right where you were standing years ago. And one of the coolest parts of London that I loved was the underground system. So I lived away from the university I went to and actually took the underground every day and every night, as you can see, late at night. And the public transportation was so unlike anything I've experienced, with live music, people, art, and a rich history. Speaking of a rich history, London has crazy things you'll never know about unless you completely dive into the city, like the wild parakeets that happen to live in Hyde Park, which was just a 10-minute walk from my flat. When you live somewhere foreign, you experience it completely differently than you do when you visit, which is why study abroad was so important to me. I got to discover London in a completely new way, as such a diverse city with all these different parts, like Chinatown, which I actually went to Chinese New Year and ate mooncakes with my friend and actually hung out with my friends of Chinese descent who showed me around Chinatown in London, which was a crazy, incredible cultural experience. London has sectors that represent almost places all over the world. This picture here is in Little Venice, where you can find houseboats along the canals and restaurants and food. The best part about studying in London was that it was such a diverse city that even though I was there for 6 months, there's so much to be unexplored and so much to be seen. And I'm so lucky I was there for just that amount of time. This here is the brutalist area of London at the Barbican Art Centre, which is this crazy architectural and artist wonder, because London is the art capital of the world. It's pretty much the everything capital of the world, but you can find art, music, movie, theater, everything in London, and I just loved the city itself for all that it had to offer. Though it may sound like I just spent my time running around having fun at London, I actually spent a lot of time studying because I loved my university I studied at. I went to UCL, which is the University College London, and I studied psychology under professors who were actively doing the research that I was learning about, and it was completely different than the American system. Also while abroad, I spent time doing an independent research project. So my project actually looked into how caregivers and children interact with each other and how gesture plays into that relationship, which was so cool to look at how research is conducted in a European system and in a completely different way than I experienced research at Tulane. So as you can tell, I definitely love London, but while abroad I also got to travel outside of London. So this here is Stonehenge, which is still in England, but a small town outside of London that I was lucky to travel to and experience the magic there. But I also got to go all over the UK and Europe while I was studying abroad. I traveled to Wales, which is actually another country within the UK, and I went to Cardiff exploring old castles, learning about the Welsh culture and Welsh language, which is something I'd never even been exposed to before traveling to the UK, and learn about their rich histories and culture. I was lucky enough to travel to Paris via train and actually go through the Channel, which is an underground tunnel through the English Channel. And in Paris, we climbed to the top of Notre Dame, which is actually where this view's from, and explored French culture. And actually, I traveled with a friend who spoke French, so I got a first-hand experience with French culture. One of the first trips I took was actually to Denmark, and we went to Copenhagen, which was one of the hometowns of one of my good friends I met while studying abroad, and we spent time on her recommendation to her favorite stores. We went down the canals and kind of explored the Danish world. After finals were done, one of my last trips was to Dubrovnik in Croatia, which is actually where Game of Thrones is filmed. So we spent our time cliff jumping, staying in our hostel and making friends, which a lot of Croatian people learning about the Croatian language and the beautiful scenery that I didn't even know existed before going abroad. And on all my travels, one of my best parts was traveling with the friends I met while abroad. Since I was directly enrolled in a global university, my friends are from all over the world. Some of my closest friends are from Denmark, France, Australia, Singapore, and these connections I made have lasted a lifetime and have truly made me a global citizen because now I have these connections across the world and these experiences and interactions that I am so grateful for. And as we scroll through these pictures of my friends and the experiences we have, I just want to say that I'm so grateful for the time I spent abroad and all of the experiences I had and how I've grown as a human just for spending this time. And I want to thank the Office of Study Abroad for supporting me in this time. And really, if I have one advice for anybody watching this, is that you need to go abroad because it was the best experience of my life.